Passive income will pass you by if you think it means handing your money over to advisors that are no more than salespeople. The old rules won't work any longer. Not in this economy, not in this world. If you want to keep and grow your money, you can learn now or learn the hard way after the money ends up in someone else's pocket. That's right. We're about to have a massive wealth transfer, and those that trust others to handle their money for them will end up on the losing side. Look, even if all the wealth was redistributed in the world so that we all had equal amounts of money, it would be a matter of a short period of time before it ended up in the hands of few. Why? Because money doesn't come with a manual, and most of the manuals written are by the people who want to separate you from your money. Lots of people, they go out there and they would add value through leverage, but others would actually steal money with leverage. So if I use the word leverage, are you familiar with the terms like selling short or derivatives or buying on margin or these types of things? Because that's where a lot of the money transfer happens. See, there's no prosperity without responsibility, so you've got to know the equation and do the work up front to create income that keeps coming, recurring revenue, also known as passive income. So a lot of this money is going to end up in the hedge fund's hands. A lot of this money is going to end up because of what people are doing when they sell short, when there's a volatile market, but you don't have to play by those old antiquated rules. So let me break this down into 3 very simple rules for you. First and foremost, if you want to have more wealth, it comes down to creating more value. Most people are stuck in the accumulation phase, and others are just wanting something for nothing. This get-rich-quick mentality has wasted plenty of time, money, and life. Instead, you could have been living a life that creates value, enjoying your life along the way, investing in yourself, and creating a service that solves major problems that we see. See, we see people that seemingly become overnight stars on social media, or we hear about the kids that are making millions online. So why not try to mimic that and do the same? Well, I'm sure you've had someone try to sell you on this passive merit of real estate or this options trading thing. You just got to click a button and all this money comes to you, or other things that might actually be a distraction more than an opportunity. See, it really depends on who you are as an individual. What are your abilities? What are your interests? And what are you willing to commit time to and treat it with the respect it deserves? See, wealth rarely happens on accident. It only stays when you're deliberate. So rather than chasing the social media stardom or handing your money over to these risky ventures, hoping it's all gonna work out, is it crypto, is it gold, is it silver, is it the options trading? Instead of handing over your money, over your life to broken promises of a better future, you've gotta get your money right. See, what you've tried that has failed, what have you tried that has worked? And what are you afraid of, and what are you excited about? Do you know how your investments work and what the risks are associated with those investments? Have you really invested in yourself, in your skill sets, in your emotional intelligence, in your money knowledge and IQ? Do you know what investments are right for you and which ones are the wrong ones for you? You've got to know what to invest in and spend time searching for the things that are right for you, that you understand, that are part of your investor DNA. If you're more active up front to determine what investments are right for you, and you're more willing to research and really say no to several things, then you can actually create passive income in an ongoing manner. Okay, the second thing here, first is about creating value, investing in yourself, and understanding what you can do to be more active as an investor. But 2 is really turning that passive income game into an active upfront game. So why would you generate a return on investment? When you're allocating money, ask that question. How does the investment work and perform? How do you know if it's going to work or not work? Why do you have the opportunity over someone else with that type of investment? Is the opportunity long-term or is it short-term? These are the questions that if you ask will help you to become a better investor, to be more active up front. Ask how much of your involvement is required to make that investment work. We've got an amazing tool called the Investment Scorecard, which helps you to determine what investment's right for you. You go to wealthfactory.com/scorecard, and it's 10 questions that help you to align investments with where your knowledge is, where your investor DNA is. Investor DNA is your core values, your competencies, and your drivers, so you could focus on what makes sense rather than diversifying into things that you don't know anything about. This notion of just set it and forget it is going to have people forget their wealth because other people don't know enough of what they're doing, and there's a long-term buy and hold strategy is not going to work in the next 3 years. There's too much volatility. There's going to be too many chaotic things that happen that confiscate wealth. And there's too many people that have the game rigged in their favor and it's rigged against you. So I'm helping you kind of flip that script so you can find investments that will benefit you now and in the future. What does that do? It means that you've got investments that create cash flow. So how do you find something that can cash flow from day one? Is it buying a business? Is it getting involved in real estate? It's got to be the right thing based upon who you are. What you figure out is how you make money on the buy. During chaotic, times, economic recessions and depressions, there's people that are distressed, that need a bailout, that need help. Now, it's not the government that can bail them out. It's you if you have the cash, you if you have the knowledge, and you can help them out so they don't lose everything. For me, it's about learning from my past, so I could learn what worked for me when it came to investing and what didn't. I got involved in so many things: real estate, a hard money lending fund. I got involved in options, and I never got in IPOs. I never got involved in options trading, thank God. I got involved in oil and gas. I got involved in so many things. It was almost a distraction because there was more than I can handle. When I really looked at it, what was the best things I could invest in? Intellectual property. In my businesses, that's where my investments became. Buying a business that complemented my business. This is where a lot of this is going to be. Are there businesses you could acquire? Because even for a down payment of an average home in the United States, with the SBA right now, you might be able to acquire a business. There's a real estate that makes sense for you. If you're not going to treat it like a business, if you don't know what you're doing, don't get involved. People get over leveraged and they get destroyed with their wealth. Is it intellectual property? Is there things that you know that you can help other people out with? I want you to ask yourself these questions so you can become a better investor, discover the right ways to invest, to have more simple steps to sustainable wealth. Ask yourself, number one, what have been your greatest investments in the past, and what do they have in common? Number two, what have been the greatest investment opportunities that you missed out on? And why did you miss out on those opportunities? Did you not have enough liquidity? Did you not have the right team? Did you not have the right due diligence structure? Three, if the right opportunities were to come right now, what would you need to do to be in a position to take advantage of it? Is it getting lines of credit? Is it moving to self-directed IRAs? Is it where could you have that capital? Number four, do you have the liquidity required for future opportunities? Do you have enough cash on hand? And if not, what would it take to get access to that cash? Number five, do you have a proper due diligence system for investing? And what is your process? I have great people on my team. I have the wealthfactory.com/scorecard that's a part of that. And even my wife's intuition, because it's really dialed in somehow, she knows. And when I listen to her, it really helps out. Number six, what type of investments don't align with your investor DNA that you should stay away from? So you don't have to waste your time listening to it. Are you good with technology or not? Are you good with health or not? Are you good in the financial sector or not? Are you good with real estate or businesses? You got to figure out what's your investor DNA and then double down on that. And then number seven, what have been your greatest investment lessons from past experience? A lot of people, unfortunately, make the same mistakes over and over. And each time they make the mistake, it gets more and more painful. It becomes a bigger lesson. How can you take the lessons from the past to have better investing knowledge moving forward into the future? Number eight, do you have any investing rules that you've documented and have those lessons? I like cash flow over accumulation. I like to protect the downside. I like to find a time where my cash can capitalize and get me a return from day one. Do you have ways that document the type of investor you want to be? Number nine, is there an infrastructure, are there people or automation that can add to your existing business or investments when you're investing outside of the business if you own a business, right? So if you go to wealthfactory.com/scorecard, you're gonna get some great resources. And the third step in this is I'm really gonna help you know what to do and not do when we go a little bit deeper here on due diligence. So the first thing is helping you with the basic questions of evaluation. So if you're gonna invest, just ask the simple thing. What are the underlying economic principles at play? All that means is, why would someone want this? Why would it go up in value? Why is it valuable to the marketplace? Why would someone see this appreciate over time? The second piece is, who's accountable if the investment goes into default? By the way, the answer, it's you. It's you. You gotta make sure when you're allocating, it makes sense. The third thing, is the value proposition clear to you? And can you describe the value proposition of the investment? So that's just the basics of why it would work, how it would work, and how you benefit, how the marketplace benefits, and how whoever you invest the money with benefits. If you get clear about that, that's the value proposition. Fourth, is this investment a one-time opportunity, meaning you gotta act now opportunity, or does it offer ongoing systems and possibilities for wealth creation? Does it create recurring revenue because you spent time up front? These are some of the things that are really important. And the next piece is, what reason other than rate of return would you invest in the investment? See, when we get caught up in rate of return, right now we might get super excited about gold and silver because it's running up, or cryptocurrency because it's doing better. But what if you don't understand why that would go up, or when to get out, or how that works, or what's really going on? So I want to look beyond just rate of return and say, what's your investor DNA? How do you relate to that investment? And just a few yes or no questions are going to help you out with this, which is, do you understand the investment adequately to make your own decision? If not, you're not ready to invest in that. Is there a way to insure or protect the investment? Yes or no? banks, when you get a loan from them, they're usually protecting it with anything from the collateral of a car or a home or down payment or mortgage insurance. There's a number of things. How do you protect the downside? And then finally, do you know the people involved in generating the return for the investment? If you don't, then that might be too speculative. So if you want to create more passive income, ask these questions, become a better investor, do better due diligence. Because if you want to have a better situation, passive income is only going to come to you if you're active up front. Otherwise, it's going to pass you by if you think it means handing money over to advisors that are no more than salespeople. The old rules won't work any longer. Not in this economy, not in this world. If you want to keep and grow your money, you can learn now or learn the hard way after the money ends up in someone else's pocket. I've given you the questions. I've given you 3 basic strategies, from value creation to due diligence to how to create a profit from day one when you're looking to invest. And with those questions, you can now stop losing money to Wall Street and start creating the life you want today. Now, you have the knowledge to transform your thoughts into profits and build the life you love. If you're looking for more on this topic, check out my video on passive income streams. You'll learn what passive income really looks like and how to start generating it right now. I'll see you there.